Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much for joining us today for this presentation. Hopefully all of you had the coffee cap with the goodie bags, the cloud goodie bags, and have already visited our booth and having the picture of you on the coffee and make a selfie with that. Actually, my colleague will bring some coffee in a couple of minutes and we will kind of distribute here. Yeah, there are 100 questions today. The people asking what coffee needs to do with cloud, right? What is cloud? What is coffee as a service? Actually, in this presentation, we would like to mention that. But before coming to the point, is anyone in the audience knowing who is ITENOS? Did anyone hear our name, ITENOS? Rise and I saw wonder. Yeah, our sales colleague there. Great. So we will take the picture of the all others, not raising the hand, and then we have a sales colleague there. They will pitch you who is ITENOS. But during the presentation, hopefully you will also learn about who we are, what we are doing, right? Yeah, this 100 question about what coffee needs to do with the cloud. Hopefully in this presentation we will just mention about kind of an analogy between the coffee and cloud. So in coming 3-4 slides, it's not the marketing ITENOS slide. So I really take your attention and kind of listen, because we will share some analogy plus some marketing intelligence information about the data center. By the way, yeah, this is the coffee. Thanks Son, thanks Oliver. I mean, actually, I'm not really sure if something's seeing on the camera, but this is mainly my picture. So we are printing your picture on top of the cup, and then hopefully you will test the coffee. But actually, after that, you don't want to drink it because it is gone. I mean, actually, it is like our cloud solution, right? When we deploy our cloud solution, most of the customer doesn't want to use it because it is the state of the art. Yeah, we will talk about our cloud solution. I just would like to give the slide to Gabriel. Yeah, Gabriel.
Okay, basically, thanks, Arif. I will take over. We see here cloud or coffee as a service, and yeah, the main question is, how do these two things get together? What's the analogy that Arif was talking about? Basically, it's very easy. There are different prerequisites that you need to be able to enjoy a nice coffee, have a nice experience with coffee. You can do it in different ways. Basically, you have the first way, which is on-premise. Basically means you need to take care of the ingredients, you need to take care of the tools that are needed to process the ingredients, and you need to take care of, let's say, the environment. Yeah? You want to enjoy your coffee, so you need also a chair and maybe a table or a sofa to be able to have a nice experience with your well-tasting coffee. This we see on the left side. That's the main point where you have to take care about mainly everything. So if you are not want a high quality coffee, you need to have a very good bean. You have to have the right roast, the grind, the brew. If you like sugar, for sure also sugar. Then you need to put it somewhere after having processed it, so in the cup, and be able to drink it then in your chair, right? So if you can do it different ways, very basic, at home, in your rented apartment or in your villa, whatever you take for the environment. And yeah, basically you can do it very, very high level also, where you need the knowledge of a barista to have a very, very good coffee. So you need this knowledge, which is sometimes difficult. I don't really drink coffee, so I would be lost there completely. And there is the second point where you say, okay, there are some stuff that you can get over to somebody who has the knowledge. So for example, the knowledge about the ingredients. So you buy, maybe for having a quick fix, a sachet of where everything is in, cappuccino mix, open it, then you just need the cup, the spoon, put some water on it, relax in the chair. That's something where you have already a third party which is helping you. The next point is when, for example, Arif and myself, our families want to celebrate together, Turkish family, French family, they all love coffee. If I come with this kind of instant coffee, no way. So what would I do? I would rent a barista. These guys with this well-known three-wheeled mini trucks, they open the lid and have the whole thing open, and you can just do a nice coffee for all the 100 guys who are celebrating you do the party. So in the end, you just manage the chair and the table, the environment. Or you can go as a, let's say, software as a service or everything as a service, and we would say here, you just go to the next Starbucks and everything is taken care of. So this is how you can just enjoy your coffee, and basically that's also an approach you can take up for your cloud strategy.
Yeah.
So Arif, I think there are some analogies.
Yeah, I mean, actually, this coffee as a service is the same with the clouds as a service. As Gabriel mentioned, how you can make a coffee by yourself is same for the cloud as well, right? So the same structure what you see for the coffee here, that we will have another slide for the cloud. And I believe most of you knows how you structure this on-premise service, the infrastructure as a service, a platform as a service, and the software as a service. The one thing that I would like to mention here, I don't want to go each one in detail. The one thing that I would like to say, kind of different from the coffee, in the cloud solution, you can mix these ingredients whatever you want, right? Whatever fits your company. I think this is the main difference between the coffee and the cloud, while that in this solution, I mean, you can take one from the platform column and one from the infrastructure column and one from the software column, that much more tailor-made solution, right? This is the, let's say, the beauty of these 4 elements, 4 column, and this is why now companies like us is kind of building a tailor-made solution, right? We don't have any standard cloud offer to our customer. The first thing that we are doing with the customer, we are just listening, as all others doing that, right? If you are not going to hyperscaler, most of the tailor-made cloud solution provider just listening, understanding your requirement, and just design the solution that fits to your requirements, right? Most probably, most of you heard that last week, Google just launched a new product, Strata. It's mainly the gaming as a cloud. This is a totally new idea of the Google, right? They are just migrating the gaming platform to the cloud as well. So I believe in coming years, this everything moving to the cloud, that will most probably the trend of the cloud environment, and at the end that everything can be run over the cloud, right? This might be the trend of the cloud environment, cloud market. So I just would like to talk one more slide, and then I will hand over to Gabriel. Yeah. We clarify what coffee has to do with the cloud, right? What is the analogy between cloud and the coffee? And I just would like to clarify one more thing. Actually, ITENOS is a data center company. Yeah? ITENOS is the Deutsche Telekom data center company. I may need to say that. We are 100% belongs to Deutsche Telekom group, right? But our color is not magenta, while it is intentional. So we are totally carrier and cloud neutral data center provider. And I just would like to talk a couple of minutes here in this slide, what data center needs to do with cloud, right? Where we are in this picture as a data center provider. This is also very critical because most of the data center provider is moving ahead to providing the cloud as a service. And I just would like to clarify some couple of points here as a market intelligence information for you, for the audience. Is there any of the data center provider on the picture here? Is there any Equinix guy? Any digital reality? Any e-shelter? Yeah. It seems not, so I can talk whatever I want about these guys now. Yeah, there's one friend there. former ITENOS employee, Jörg from the shelter. I just would like to talk one thing. This diagram is actually not showing who is good, who is better, who is best, right? This diagram just showing that what data center companies focus on, actually. So this is as you see, there's a two-dimensional diagram. One is the market expansion, one is the service area. And we just position the data center provider in this two-dimension, who is focusing what, right? It doesn't mean that the Equinix is the best guy in this data center market. They are much more focusing on the market expansion than the others. This is why they are in the higher position in the diagram. So there are three things happening in the data center market, right? That the global DC provider is increasingly moving from the pure colocation, the rack and power offer, to the value-added services, right? Most of the data center providers seeing themselves as a unique selling, one-stop shopping location, and they are providing lots of services under the data center offer. The other one, they are also widening their market reach, yeah, market offer, market position. So they are also moving from the pure enterprise customer than the carrier. It was not like this in 10 years ago, right? And cloud as a service is one of the enabler for this data center provider. So they are using the cloud as a value-added solution to their enterprise customer, and they are attracting the enterprise customer with this cloud as a service solution. As you see in the left side, in the right side in the slide, so there are some strategic outlook happening, right? The one-stop shopping, as I mentioned, cloud as a service, enabler for the enterprises. And enterprises, it's also a very interesting point for the cloud user in the audience, that the enterprise customer moving from this private cloud on-premise solution, not the public, but much more the hybrid solution. So they want to have private cloud for their some application and some software, and they would like to have some public cloud option as well. So they just mix this public and private under this hybrid cloud solution, what we are saying. So this is mainly showing the hybrid cloud market potential published in 2018 as a market research future. As you see, there's an increasing demand for the hybrid cloud solution instead of the public hyperscaler. This is also a very interesting point for us as a data center provider. So we are shaping our cloud solution for this demand, actually. So we are providing this. Most of the companies here either providing hyperscaler together with some partner for the cloud, or they're just using their platform connectivity for private and the public clouds. In the next slide, yeah, Gabriel would like to mention about something about, what did he say that?
I mean, you just talked about it. The main point is the big growth for enterprise on hybrid cloud solutions.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit what we talked before, saying it's a mix, right? Depending on the situation, where the company, the enterprise is hybrid suitable or not? And there are some questions, I think, that everybody needs to be aware of, just to be sure, is a hybrid cloud strategy solution or strategy fitting my needs or not? And there are basically 5 questions we have to answer. So the first is, do we have a need for fast, reliable, and secure access to application and data from anywhere, anytime, via any medium? So that's the main question. If you put a tick box, okay, you are one step into hybrid. So I say, okay, first tick box. Then the second is, do you have a mix of mission critical and also non-critical data that you are using, where you say, okay, you can run them through your own premises and maybe also through a shared public platform? So if this also tick box, you are one step further, saying, okay, hybrid cloud solution is something for me. Then very important also is the characteristic of your network traffic, right? Do you have sometimes burst traffic popping up while you have, and peaks for short time, while you have sometimes for longer periods, more of a flat traffic? So tick box. Then if you have financial mind, let's say, as a CFO or as a financial guy, might it be interesting for you to lower your capex, so your investments really in hardware and in stuff, let's say, and go more into an operational mode with operational expenses being the OPEX model, so which is from financial perspective important, because you can also be sure that you are more flexible on maybe also trends popping up and saying, okay, I don't have an investment on a specific sized IT and I can scale easily. So tick box on this one. And do I have the know-how and experience on the orchestration? So do I have my employees and my guys working in my IT department who are able to do this or not? So these are the 5 questions where we say, okay, if we put a tick box on this, you are pretty much going into
very
hybrid
potential
cloud.
user of the hybrid cloud solution.
Right. So that's the main point, and yeah, the thing is how
can
is the
combine
setup
this.
Yes.
Yeah, this is also very critical, right? I mean, yeah, the companies would like to use this hybrid cloud solution, but orchestration, right? This is very critical word. How you can orchestrate this, right? How you can orchestrate this public cloud together with private, maybe some hyperscaler. This is very critical. And I mean, I need to say that it is kind of neat experience and also the know-how, how you can orchestrate these 3 things, how you can bundle all these 3 elements for your IT solution, right? And actually, we as a ITENOS is kind of doing this 3 solution under the one platform, which is called the data logistic. It's mainly, yeah, logisting the data. And we are providing private, public, and also the connectivity to the hypercloud provider, right? I would like to mention one thing here. And I'm not really saying this for the marketing, right? I'm really saying that it's really true. I think the ITENOS is kind of a very unique position in the data center market, while we as a data center provider is only providing homemade cloud solution for our customer. No one else in the previous picture that you see, the big names, not providing their own homemade cloud solution. I think this is very unique. And this is not because of we kind of see some potential there and this is why we are providing this cloud. Actually, the cloud, the homemade cloud solution for a data center is not a good product because it is too much complex. When you compare the space and power, selling cloud is too complex. But because of this Deutsche Telekom enterprise customer, I mean, we had to develop this. We had to develop this 10 years ago, and we developed this. And we are providing, as a data center provider, our own homemade private and public clouds. So you can accept us as a hyperscaler in a sense that in a kind of size, but we are providing the same service what you can get from the Google or Amazon. Plus, we are also providing connectivity to the hyperscaler. This is actually our bundle solution that we call the hybrid cloud solution.
Yeah, and basically we are enabling this through our own platform.
Right.
You already said it, the data logistics platform, which is basically an own AES that we are with a network behind it. So basically you can, through one port, if you are within our data center, through one port, use multiple services, being a cloud service, getting the connectivity to a hyperscaler, or using, as you see here, the ITENOS Solid Cloud, which is the cloud that we are building on our own, or then also using different other services, which are the basic services that also a data center provider is offering, like IP access, IP transit, or also Metro Connect, connectivity point to point, for example, so that you can be connected within the data center. So this is the main thing. We have here multiple customers who are interested in this type of let's say, setup, which are the enterprise customers, the carriers, so basically, and the cloud service provider, because basically you can be part of this ecosystem and share your own cloud to our customers. So that's the main point here, how we are enabling this. There is a big technical background and so on, so we will not go into the details. And yeah, basically this is also one, I think one, oops, This went black. Magic. Okay.
Yeah.
Back again. Where we are also offering, for example, IP transit, which is also a USP that we can offer.
Right. When you would like to select a data center, these are the mainly 8 things that you need to look at, right? I don't want to go each one in detail, but you need to look at where the data center are, where the data center is, right? Is there any good connectivity they have? What is their rack solution, right? This is also critical. Are they just providing standard rack without any tailor-made offer? And actually, you need to ask, okay, what kind of cloud provider that they have? They are hosting which cloud provider access node, right? These are the main critical point that you need to ask when you would like to select a rack for you in a data center. Yeah, we can pass the next one.
Yeah, because I mean, basically, you have showed what you have to take care of, and basically, we can deduct what kind of good reasons are to be part of the, or using services from ITENOS, which are basically, you can really start from basic cloud offering, yeah, public cloud offering, scalable, highly scalable to tailored private clouds, so coming also from ITENOS, homemade in German data centers.
Right.
That's also one thing we have to say. So you have seamless connectivity, we already talked about this, to the hyperscalers, through the data logistics platform, through one port, access everything. And very important also for us as a German company, ISO certification and GDPR compliancy, including also things like certifications on zero outage from Deutsche Telekom and so on, so very, very strict on all these stuff. And basically also we are fitting tailor-made solution, more making modules, right? Not big standard stuff,
solution,
but more, let's say, individual modules. And you can go from pure infrastructure to single managed services, that's one point, to fully managed services by ITENOS. So this is the full scale of services or how that we can take up. And you have also innovative hyperconverged infrastructure technology that brings, let's say, your private cloud to the edge. And these are basically the main reasons
why you can select the ITENOS.
Yes, and using us for your multi-cloud and hybrid cloud strategy.
And actually, this is just for your information. As I mentioned, as Gabriel mentioned, we have a very broad product portfolio from the pure rack, from the pure colocation, from the pure space and power and air condition to the homemade cloud, right? I think there's no one in the data center market providing this kind of broad product portfolio. I mean, if you would like to have much information about our product solution, we have colleagues here. Can ITENOS team can raise the hands, please? Yeah, we have sales team there.
They are very shy, but
yeah,
just talk to them. They will respond.
And we have the booth here as well. So
yeah, and you can.
Yeah.
And basically, on our booth, you can pick up. You have the cup, right? Some have been distributed. The cup where you can take up your selfie, and we print it on your coffee, make a selfie out of it, and send it through the world. So nice, cool thing. Come by. And I heard, even though I don't drink coffee, it's the best coffee on the CloudFest.
In the CloudFest, yeah.
Comes not from me. I heard it 100 times or so. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks very much.
Gabriel and Arif, thank you very much. A deep insight into software as a service for coffee. I love the idea, except we have one non-consumer.
Yes. But I think I might be converted to coffee drinker. Now
So the question we need to ask the audience to work on, what is the conversion strategy for a non-coffee drinker?
Should be a little hard. But we will still trying on that.
Yeah.
You've got a nice coffee.
I got it.
Gentlemen, thank you both very much.
Yeah.
Very insightful. You can visit them on the booth at 0D04. Gabriel and Arif, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.